When you think about pool safety, especially, around your own home, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Probably a fence, right? A tall, sturdy isolation fence. It's sort of the standard image, the common solution we all picture. But what if I told you that just relying on that fence, well, it might be missing a really crucial part of the safety puzzle. I mean, fences can be left open, gates can sometimes fail, and just ticking the box for compliance doesn't always guarantee real-world, like, ironclad protection for the kids. It's a classic case of theory meeting the often messy reality of everyday life. Today in the Deep Dive, we're going beyond the fence, how Swish systems are redefining pool safety in New Zealand. We've gathered a really interesting stack of materials, articles, research documents, technical statements that shine a light on a genuinely different approach to keeping kids safe near water. So our mission here is to pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge about how Swish automation is, well, challenging the old ways of thinking, and maybe more importantly, what their actual track record really shows. And just a hint, you might be surprised. We're talking about a system with over 5,000 installations and a truly remarkable safety record. Okay, let's unpack this a bit. The traditional pool fence is everywhere. It's the go-to. But, I mean, anyone with kids knows the challenges, right? Life happens. The doorbell rings, the phone buzzes. Just a moment of distraction, and suddenly maybe that gate isn't quite latched properly. It's not about being careless. It's just the everyday reality of busy homes where, the human element can unfortunately introduce risk. What do you see as the main sort of limitations with that traditional fence-only approach?
Yeah, you've hit on it exactly. While a fence is definitely a necessary barrier, just meeting a standard, a traditional fencing standard, doesn't automatically mean foolproof protection against child drownings. It just doesn't. And that's where Swish automation really comes in. They step into this crucial gap by offering not just a physical barrier, but what they call a measurable outcome. They focus on designing a system that performs reliably, consistently, even when you factor in those moments of human oversight that are just bound to happen. It's about building something smarter than just a simple latch on a gate.
That focus on measurable outcomes, that's really compelling, isn't it? So for everyone listening, what's actually going on under the hood with these Swish systems? What's the core design philosophy that lets them achieve such an amazing record?
Well, what's fascinating here is their core claim, and honestly, it's quite astonishing when you hear it. They're self-close and self-latch sliding door systems. They've protected homes for more than 14 years now without a single child drowning. Yeah, just think about that for a second. We're talking over 5,000 installations across New Zealand, with 0 reported child drownings for kids age 6 and under. That statistic isn't just powerful, it's proof of effective engineering in action.
That is an incredible statistic,
Yeah.
especially when you think about the tragic reality of child drownings. But, critics might argue, oh, it's just a coincidence, or maybe that homeowners who choose these systems are just naturally more safety conscious anyway. How does Swish counter that kind of skepticism?
It's definitely not just coincidence, and actually, to put it into perspective, look at Australia. Despite having some of the strictest fencing laws in the world, they actually see 40% more child drownings per capita than New Zealand.
Really? 40% more.
40% more. Meanwhile, here in New Zealand, where these Swish systems are in pretty widespread use, the drowning rates have declined significantly. So this isn't just some happy accident. It's a direct result of, like they say, engineering that works. Plus, it shows a deep understanding of how people actually live in and interact with their homes and pools. It proves the right engineering can compensate for those human factors we talked about.
Okay, so it's clear these aren't just theoretical ideas. They're robust, certified solutions with a, frankly, phenomenal track record. What exactly makes these Swish systems so effective? How do they achieve that consistent safety beyond just, say, a simple spring mechanism?
Oh, it's far more sophisticated than just a spring. The Swish ONSC slide door series is engineered with several key features working together. So first, imagine a door that automatically restricts how far it can open. It limits the opening to a maximum of 950 millimeters, which is generally too small for a young child to squeeze through easily. Then, it has a very precise self-closing force. It's specified as less than or equal to 3 kilograms force, ensuring it reliably shuts every single time. And these systems are incredibly versatile. They can be installed vertically or horizontally. They can even be retrofitted onto existing doors.
So you don't need a whole new door necessarily.
Exactly, which means they can fit into almost any home design, old or new. And they're built tough using marine-grade stainless steel, aluminum alloy. Materials designed to last, even handling heavy door panels up to 160 kilograms.
That sounds incredibly durable and very well thought out. So these definitely aren't just ideas or prototypes then. These are heavy-duty, real-world solutions.
Precisely. These are absolutely not prototypes. Swish systems go through rigorous independent testing. They're backed by comprehensive product technical statements, or PTS documents, and crucially, they are fully verified under New Zealand's Building Act 2004. They fulfill both the intent and the letter of Clause F9 of the New Zealand Building Code. Specifically, they reference the NZS 8500.2006 standard as their compliance pathway.
Okay.
So we're talking about certified systems. They've got widespread uptake, a validated safety record in the real world stretching back, 18 years now. They've modified something like 4,000 door sets that have been approved by various councils all over the country. And what's particularly clever, I think, is how seamlessly they integrate. Whether it's a modern home, timber, aluminium, even heritage styles, they provide this almost invisible child-resistant barrier that doesn't mess up the look of the house or make daily living difficult.
You'd think with such strong evidence, a proven track record like that, independent certifications, it'd be a pretty clear path for Swish. But tell me, what kinds of hurdles or roadblocks has Swish actually faced from regulatory bodies, even with these proven alternative solutions? Is there some kind of AS1 problem happening here?
There certainly is. It's a persistent challenge. Many local building authorities, the BCAs, building consent authorities especially, it seems, in Auckland, tend to really over-rely on what's known as Acceptable Solution F9 AS1.
Right, AS1.
Yeah. And this rule, it was designed quite some time ago. Clause 4.2.1 specifically just says sliding doors used as pool barriers can't open more than 1,000 millimeters. But here's the critical point. AS1 is only one method you can use to show compliance. It is absolutely not mandatory under the Building Act 2004.
Okay, that's key. It's not the only way.
Exactly. Section 19 of the Act explicitly allows for alternative solutions, like the ones verified under NZS 8500.2006, which, remember, is also a cited standard under the Building Code for Clause F9. So councils are actually supposed to accept these alternative performance-based solutions when they're properly documented.
So despite having this legally recognized alternative pathway, Swish is running into what you mentioned, this RFI problem and inconsistent enforcement. They're getting frequent requests for information, RFIs, from councils questioning if their systems are valid, even when they clearly comply using these alternative robust solutions.
That's exactly right. It's quite frustrating for them, I imagine. Even when the Swish systems clearly meet the NZS 8500 standard, councils often push back. There's a concrete example from Tauranga Council. They apparently rejected a multi-canal stacker door system from Swish, even though it had safety features like alarms and auto closers, purely citing non-conformance with AS1, that prescriptive 1,000 millimeter rule.
Just because of the dimension.
Just because of the dimension. But then, get this, they accepted a simpler single-panel door system from Swish solely because it happened to fit that specific AS1 dimension. The council's reasoning, apparently, was that they felt multi-leaf stackers are somehow at odds with the objective of Building Code Clause F9 because they believe such doors are more likely to be left open or disabled by homeowners.
That seems like a pretty big assumption, doesn't it? Especially if the system itself is engineered to self-close and restrict the opening. Why should the number of panels matter if the outcome is safe? What's Swish's counter-argument to that kind of logic?
Well, Swish argues pretty forcefully that these rejections are often based on, and this is their phrasing, unqualified, ignorant, and factually unsupported opinion and interpretation.
Strong words.
They are. They contend that councils consistently fail to actually cite specific legislative breaches when they reject these NZS 8500 compliant systems. Swish points out, quite logically I think, that the pool owner is ultimately responsible for the use and maintenance of the barrier. They use the analogy of a car owner being responsible for speeding, not the car manufacturer. The legislation itself puts the onus on the homeowner to provide, operate, and maintain the barrier. The Swish system simply provides a reliable, compliant mechanism to help them do that safely.
That's a powerful analogy, actually. It really shifts the focus from just the product's inherent capability to the ongoing responsibility of the user, which is how safety often works in reality. But of course, the hardware, the engineering, that's only one part of the safety equation. It sounds like Swish also advocates for a much more holistic approach, moving beyond the barrier to really emphasize the critical role of supervision.
Absolutely. They strongly promote a supervision-first philosophy right alongside their mechanical safety systems. They understand fundamentally that technology alone isn't a silver bullet. Human vigilance is paramount, always, so they provide quite extensive educational materials to the pool owners and caregivers. Things like step-by-step CPR guides, tailored by age group, which is absolutely critical information to have in an emergency. They also offer practical tools like poolside hazard checklists and clear guidance for caregivers on maintaining constant visual and physical control whenever children are near water. It's really about empowering people with knowledge and awareness, not just installing a piece of hardware.
What's fascinating there is how that integrated approach moves beyond just, putting up a physical barrier. It actively engages the most critical element in the chain, human vigilance. It acknowledges the complexity of real-world safety.
And it connects directly to the broader stats on child drowning prevention. If you look at data, say, from 1994 to 2003, it showed that a really staggering 75% of drownings involving children under 4 were attributed to a lack of adequate adult supervision.
75%? Wow.
Yeah. So while the mechanical barriers like swish doors are crucial, they are powerfully complemented by reinforcing the right behaviors. Teaching people not to prop gates or doors open, making sure kids know they need supervision before going near the pool, emphasizing that continuous oversight. It's all part of this comprehensive, multi-layered defense strategy.
So bringing it all together, what does this mean for the bigger picture in New Zealand? Swish is clearly making a very strong case for regulatory reform. What specifically are they asking for?
They have very specific requests aimed at the Ministry of Business, Innovation and Employment, MBIE. Firstly, they're asking MBIE to formally reaffirm that AS1, that prescriptive acceptable solution we keep talking about, is definitely non-mandatory. Just make it crystal clear for everyone. Secondly, they want MBIE to require that systems compliant with NZS 8500, the performance-based ones, like theirs, must be treated equally in the building consent process, no bias towards AS1. And crucially, they're advocating for MBIE to direct councils to assess pool barrier solutions based on outcome-based performance. Does it actually keep kids safe? Rather than getting bogged down in rigid prescriptive dimensions like that 1,000-millimeter door width rule.
Right, focus on the results.
Exactly. It's about prioritizing actual demonstrable safety over maybe outdated paperwork or administrative convenience.
Beyond the principle of fairness, you mentioned potential economic impacts of this inconsistency. It sounds like there could be broader consequences for the whole pool industry.
Oh, definitely. There are significant ones. Swish has pointed out that these ongoing regulatory inconsistencies have actually contributed to a national downturn in the home pool market. They estimate it's over 600 pools per annum that aren't being built or installed.
Wow.
Which translates, potentially, into an annual business revenue loss of up to $100 million for the wider industry builders, suppliers, installers, along with the associated job losses that come with that kind of downturn.
So it's really a question not just of fairness and safety, but also potentially impacting innovation and the economic health of that sector in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Are we fostering a safer, more innovative market, or kind of stifling it through inconsistent application of the rules?
That's precisely the question, yes.
So it really feels like New Zealand stands at a crossroads here. Does it stick with these rigid interpretations of maybe outdated provisions, or does it embrace proven modern safety solutions that have this incredible track record of literally saving lives? It seems like a pretty clear choice when you lay it out like that.
Well, the undeniable metric, the one that Swish Automation holds up, is just incredibly clear and compelling. Not one child has drowned in a Swish-protected pool. That single fact, that outcome, really should be the benchmark for all future compliance decisions, shouldn't it? It's a verifiable, performance-based result that, frankly, no standard isolation fence alone can truly match with the same certainty. Swish isn't asking for leniency or special treatment. They're demanding recognition for a safety record that truly speaks for itself, and for the validity of the compliance pathway they use.
So the question for all of us, perhaps, is this. When it comes to the safety of our children, should our regulations prioritize administrative ease and sticking to old habits, or should they prioritize proven life-saving outcomes? It's a question worth diving deep into, isn't it?